Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It is August 4th, 2018. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? I'm here at collectiveevolution.com. I've stumbled across this site researching the origins of man, of humans. 500 plus renowned scientists jointly share why they reject Darwin's theory of evolution. This is written by Arjun Walia. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but nonetheless. Before I get started, I could use your help. Give me some thumbs up, maybe. Comment, tell me what you think. And if you have any topic ideas, please do let me know. And if you agree with my work, maybe give me a share, and if I'm worthy, you can hit me up on PayPal with your spare dollars. Here we are in brief. The facts. Many scientists around the world have voiced their concerns regarding Darwin's theory of evolution. The science is not adequate to explain life and human creation. Reflect on, why is this theory pushed so hard? Is this an example of scientific dogma? Which, yes, it is. If it resembles religion, then certainly it's dogma. Some educational institutions are teaching it as fact. Why aren't we taught to question accepted beliefs regarding the origins of human life? Why are there only two options? It's amazing how the theory of evolution is pushed on the populace as fact and sound science, but like Professor Colin Reeves from the Department of Mathematical Sciences from the Coventry University explains, in quotes, Darwinism was an interesting idea in the 19th century, when hand-waving explanations gave a plausible, if not properly scientific framework into which we could fit biological facts. However, what we have learned in science, the days of Darwin throws doubt on natural selection's ability to create complex biological systems, and we still have little more than hand-waving as an argument in its favor. He is one of around 500 scientists in several fields that came together a few years ago to create a scientific dissent from Darwinism. Here's another great quote from one of the scientists, Chris Williams, a PhD biochemistry, Ohio State University. As a biochemist and software developer who works in genetic and metabolic screening, I am continually amazed by the incredible complexity of life. For example, each of us has a vast computer program of 6 billion DNA bases in every cell that guided our development from a fertilized egg to how to make more than 200 tissue types, and ties all this together in numerous highly functional organ systems. Few people outside of genetics or biochemistry realize that evolutionists can still provide no substantive details at all about the origin of life, and particularly the origin of genetic information in the first self-replicating organism. What genes did it require, or did it even have genes? How much DNA and RNA did it have, or did it even have a nucleic acids? How did huge information-rich molecules arise before natural selection? Exactly how did the genetic code linking nucleic acids to amino acid sequence originate? Clearly, the origin of life, the foundation of evolution, is still virtually all speculation and little, if no, fact. Although this seems to be ongoing and new information has emerged, I'd like to have a discussion about it. We're dealing with a controversial topic here, one that has some scientists reprimanded for going against it in some cases. This theory is really being pushed hard on the scientific community, which could be the reason why these scientists chose to voice their concern in such a manner. It's being taught in some cases in schools as fact. Although the list is an old one, it goes to show that this thought is out there, and this type of thinking is clearly legitimate and exists for several reasons. There are multiple theories out there which we should be discussing. Take, for example, Francis Crick, a Nobel Prize-winning co-discoverer of the DNA double helix. As Greg Braden points out, Crick believes that life's building blocks have to be the result of something more than random mutations, a quirk of nature. Crick risked his reputation as a scientist by publicly stating, in quotes, "An honest man armed with all the knowledge available to us now can only state that in some sense the origin of life appears at the moment to be almost a miracle. In the scientific world, this statement is the equivalent of heresy, suggesting that something more than chance evolution led to our existence." Crick is one of many scientists who believe that intelligent intervention had something to do with it, and also postulated an extraterrestrial hypothesis. Greg Braden makes another great point. The feeling that there's something more to our story is not just a recent phenomenon. Archaeological discoveries show that almost universally, from the ancient Mayan Popol Vuh and the indigenous traditions of the American desert Southwest to the roots of the world's major religions, ancient humans felt connected to more than just their immediate surroundings. They sensed that we have our roots in other worlds, some that we can't even see. It wasn't long ago when Apollo 15 pilot Alfred Worden stated, "We are the aliens, but we just think they're somebody else. But we're the ones who came from somewhere else, because somebody else had to survive, and they got in a little spacecraft and they came here and they landed and they started civilization. That's what I believe. And if you don't believe me, go get books on the ancient Sumerians and see what they had to say about it. They'll tell you right up front. And they do. At the end of the day, we simply have to ask ourselves, why is it becoming more and more difficult to question things? And it's not just, the theory of evolution, but everything we're not supposed to question. Not supposed to question why governments hold authority over us, or many others. Many people live in a state of fear and feel worried about how they will be perceived these days for taking a particular view, be it on human evolution, vaccines, or whatever. As a chemist, the most fascinating issue for me revolves around the origin of life. Before life began, there was no biology, only chemistry, and chemistry is the same for all time. What works or not today worked or not back in the beginning. So our ideas about what happened on Earth prior to the emergence of life are eminently testable in the lab, and what we have seen thus far, when the reactions are left unguided as they would be in the natural world, is not much. Indeed, the decomposition reactions and competing reactions outdistance the synthetic reactions by far. It is only when an intelligent agent, such as a scientist or graduate student, intervenes and tweaks the reaction conditions just right do we see any progress at all, and even then it is still quite limited and very far from where we need to get. Thus, it is the very chemistry that speaks of a need for something more than just time and chance, and whether that be simply a highly specified set of initial conditions or some form of continual guidance until life ultimately emerges is still unknown. But what we do know is the random chemical reactions are both woefully insufficient and are often working against the pathways needed to succeed. For these reasons, I have serious doubts about whether the current Darwinism paradigm will ever make additional progress in this area. That came from Edward Pelzer, Ph.D. of Oceanography at the University of California, San Diego. Mainstream education teaches us that 99% of DNA links is indicative of where we came from, but we share approximately 65% of our DNA with a banana. What does that mean? Human beings aren't stupid, and this is why in 2014 a Gallup poll revealed that in the United States alone, almost half the population believe that there's something more to the origins of human existence than the two options that are constantly presented to the masses. They believe that there is something more than Darwin's theory of evolution. This tells us that human intuition is pointing us towards something more, and some of the greatest scientific minds agree. It is also very important to mention the fact that multiple discoveries continue to be left off the record. The discovery of giant skeletons is an excellent example. We have written some heavily sourced articles displaying a fraction of the evidence that's out there today. You can access them here. I'll have a link in the description box if you want to further check out or go through these links. The point is there are still many questions left unanswered and still many discussions to be had. So, tell me what you think. Do you think, Darwin has it right and we evolved from fucking apes? Or is the Bible right and the earth not more than 6,000 years roughly old? Or is the work of Sitchin and others the more accurate version of history so far? I'm thinking the latter. I'm thinking that Sitchin's work, Hancock, there's lots of them. I think that they're probably the most accurate so far. Of course, there are still many unanswered questions and many gaps, but we will eventually see the whole picture, the whole story of where we come from. And I'm thinking that the Sumerians were probably telling the truth. They were probably detailing everything in their writings that they saw, they witnessed themselves. So, anyway, I thought I'd share this with you. Hope you all have a good day. Kill the state before the state kills you.